Agent Power Huddle is a daily jumpstart, giving you all the tools you need to create an amazing real estate career. Led by top experts in the field, you'll learn how to sell more houses in less time while creating the life you want. Welcome to the Agent Power Huddle.
How's everybody doing today? Looks like most of us are not down in Cabo. I wish I was. I should have planned it, but I didn't. So today we are going to talk about modern day prospecting and the fixes and the failures to them. So I have a bunch of content on this. I could probably talk for weeks and weeks and weeks on different subjects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover just a little bit today, and then we can do some questions and answers at the end. We'll try to save a little bit of time because sometimes I run out of time. Today I'm deliberately going to try to leave space for questions and answers. So we are waiting for a few people to jump on, but I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in just because, hey, I want you guys to get as much out of this as I possibly can. So, hi, how are you? I am Jennifer Sells, or Jenn Sells. I am based out of Denver, Colorado, and that's who I am. Been in business for a couple decades, and yeah, so there you go. So, modern prospecting. So, it covers everything, guys. It covers from, the topics can cover everything from your social media feed to, open houses, to lead generation. So when you get leads in, how fast you're responding, like speed to lead, and how do you do it and how you follow up. So there's a couple of different subjects that we can jump into on this. But today I kind of want to talk about the social media aspect of, the fixes, the fails and the fixes, the ways that we can get over these things. So one of the biggest things that gets me when I'm looking somebody up is, where do we go first, right? Some of us go to Instagram first. Some of us go to Facebook first. I go to Facebook first. And if I can't find you on Facebook, I'm going to go to LinkedIn. The thing about it, though, is when you go to Facebook, or when somebody is going to look you up because they want to contact you, can they find you? And I know you've heard this a million, bajillion different times from, every coach in the world. And by the way, I'm not a coach. I am just Jenn. But I know you've heard about this before. If a client goes to your Facebook page and they can't instantaneously find contact information, you lost the game. Because society has about 3 seconds. So 5 years ago, there was a study that said that when you're putting out content in the world of social media, you have about 6 seconds. That was 5 years ago. You have 6 seconds to grab them, pull them in, have them watch your content. But now, today, we have less than 3 seconds, 3 seconds or less to get a hold of them and pull them in. So let's say that Bobby Sue, I don't know who Bobby Sue is, but we're going to make up Bobby Sue, the buyer. She's at the pool one day and she meets you and your wife, or you and your husband, and you guys have this long conversation, but it's the pool and you don't have your phone, and you can't scan it, right? So they didn't get your contact information. They just know your last name. Fortunately, my last name is pretty, memorable when it comes into real estate. It is my real last name, by the way. But let's just say they can't remember your phone number. They don't have it all stuck in their phone. So they're going to go and they're going to search for you. They're going to search for you on Facebook, right? So underneath, everybody knows, underneath Facebook there, it's going to have links for your business page. It's going to have your contact, your about, your all kinds of things in there. They need to be able to find you. And they need to be able to know that you sell real estate, right? So if you can't do that, you've already lost the game. And how many deals do you think people have lost in a year just because somebody went to go look them up and they couldn't find their contact information. I am going to tell you, it's not just an uncommon thing. It's an epidemic among real estate agents and probably lenders too. They go in, you click their profile, you can't find anything out. You can't even find their business page, right? And then on that note, if you click below the business note and you go over to the business page, we'll let somebody in here. Even there, you can't find the information out. So I think that one of the biggest things that you need to do is you need to go through your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Insta, all your platforms, and make sure that you have your contact information there. And remember, not everybody likes to talk on the phone. Some people want to text. Some people want to email. Some people want to Facebook Messenger. So make sure that you have all your links up so that you can communicate in the way that your client wants to communicate, right? You may be a phone talker, right? But your client may not. So make sure that you have the ability and they have the ability to communicate with all those kind of ways. Getting down, I talked about the business link. So make sure that your business page link is there. Yes, you do need a business page, by the way, even though your singular Facebook page now, some people have the option of turning their singular Facebook page into a business. I forgot what they call it, but you can turn it into a business platform. You still need that business page for SEO purposes and for other purposes. So make sure you keep it intact. Don't get rid of it, right? Especially if you've had it for a long time. I just totally won't leave. So anyways, so you need your contact information, you need your link to your business page, and every once in a while on your Facebook feeds, you need to, or your Instagram or any of the other feeds, you need to have a little bit of personal, a little bit of business so they can easily identify that you are the person that they were looking for. You never know where your client's coming from, right? They met you at the pool and they went to your Facebook page today, or they're going to see, all your flower garden for like 15 posts and your nights out drinking or like whatever, or are they going to see that you do participate in real estate or lending or wherever we're coming from. Links. So you need your links to everything. So you need to have a link tree, or you need to have something that can point them to your Insta, your YouTube, your LinkedIn, all of the profiles. They need to be able to find them pretty quickly. Jump in on here. Oh, I have a friend that's actually on the call right now who takes on me constantly because I don't necessarily follow this rule, but I absolutely sure that I should. Your picture on every single site, your Facebook, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your YouTube, they should all be the same. Why is that? Because if they find you on one, they should be able to find you on all of them. And if you're going to be like me and change out your profile picture, you should make it temporary, right? So at least it jumps back to the original. You need to be easily found. That's a whole subject on branding and stuff like that. My phone is blowing up today. So anyways, so anybody have any questions about that so far? Let me try to get onto the chat. And Katrina's not on today. She usually runs my chat. So if you have a really big question today, you might just need to jump in because sometimes I don't see them. So I would say that there's a lot of business lost just because they can't find you. You need to be on every single platform found. You need to have your phone number. You need to have your email. You need to have all your links readily and easily available so you do not miss that client. You know, in one step further, it's even smarter if you have like a calendar or some other way that they can go ahead and set appointments, right? Back down to like underneath your personal profile, and you have that business link right there. Something that was told to me recently was a lot of us, and I know why we do it. We do it because we think we're not in compliance, but we actually are, right? Some of us put our work history down there, and we put in like, we worked at EXP today, we worked at Remax before that, we worked XYZ all the way down. Are we not self-employed? We are, right? Does everybody agree we're self-employed? So we have worked at our business since the very beginning. So your work history down there needs to say, from the time that you got your license to today, that you worked at, mine is Team Sales Colorado, right? And then that you click on that and it would go to my business page, right? And on my business page, you can see that I work at EXP. But EXP or Remax or any other company, they have a lot of people behind them making sure that their brand is found, right? Do they need us to direct our pages to their main website? They don't. They just, for compliance purposes, the public needs to know that we do work at these companies, but you don't need to link your page to your company. You are your brand. Does that make sense? Any questions on that? Okay. So go through your stuff and make sure your work history says that you worked at you, because we're independent people since the beginning of time. I used to have everything on there, and now I don't. And now I just say that I worked it myself, which is awesome. That's just a little thing I can put out there to you guys. So it's about attention spans. And can I find you fast? So I have all kinds of stuff that we can talk about. Nobody has any questions about the Facebook at all? Or the Instagram or anything? Wow. Okay. Accolades. Okay, so accolades. So you have your designations, you have your, community things that you've done, awards, all these other things. What platform does that go on? Does anybody know? It goes on LinkedIn, right? And so I don't think I have a pull up. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick. I'm going to show you one of the better LinkedIns that I've ever seen. Hopefully I didn't lose you there. Should have had that pulled up before I got here. Anyways, it's not going to let me in fast. Okay, I can't show you. On LinkedIn, I think what I'm going to do is take a screenshot, and whenever they post it to the agent collective, I will take the screenshot and put it underneath one of the better LinkedIn profiles I've ever seen. What they've done is they've literally listed everywhere they worked, everything they've done, all of their links to every single profile they have, all of their awards, all of their community service, you name it, and everything is filled out. So literally this LinkedIn profile I'm trying to show you it's like that long. So make sure you do it, because all of those things also jump into your SEO. I mean, this subject can go on for hours. It goes into like your Google SEO, all these other things, and people can easily find you. So don't lose business because they can't find your contact information. So there's that. What is our job as real estate agents? Our job is to find leads, right? That's what our primary thing is. We're not necessarily marketers. We have VAs for that. I know we have to understand the premise behind it, but like they say in the lending business, that a LO, a loan originator, is exactly what that is, an originator. If you have a great lender, I'm getting a little down that pipe hole here, but if you have a great lender, they're generating leads, and then they're shifting that leads once they have the loan, they're shifting it to their team, and their team is taking over the business, right? So the same thing, when we are trying to survive this business, we are generating leads, right? So we need to have the follow-up and the follow-through every time we get these leads to keep the lead and get more business. Does that make sense? So number one, we need to make sure they can find us. And number two, once we get the business, we need to be able to jump in and keep them forever and ever. So I was going to talk about open house. Let's talk about paid leads. So speed the lead. So let's say you are paying for a lead. How many seconds do you have when that lead comes in? How many seconds do you have to get that lead? Anybody know? You have less than 30 seconds. So if you get like a realtor.com lead and it's a shared lead, it's going out to 3 other agents. So the first person that gets on that phone call and keeps them on the phone call for a minimum of 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes is the person that's going to end up meeting that client. So if you're paying for leads and you're not actually going to jump on the call immediately, you might as well not be paying for the lead. So that's a fix that everybody needs to understand. The second part of that is keeping them on the phone while the other 2-3 agents that got the lead are calling them, right? You want to keep them on the phone and tell them, hey, you're probably going to have your phone blow up the next 2 to 3 minutes. I'd advise you just to stay on the phone with me. Let's talk about the community. Let's talk about your needs. And let's talk about this house. And while I'm having you on the phone, I'm going to go ahead and set up the showing for this house. And then you pull up your computer, you set the showing, you get it all done. So you are definitely the person that is going to meet that client. Yeah. So there's that. And then, of course, after you do get the lead, and if you don't get the lead, you also need this. You need a follow-up campaign. You need a policy and procedure in your business that contacts that client repeatedly. So if you don't get them on the first time, you call, you hang up. This is my team. This is the way I teach my team. You call, you hang up. They don't answer. You call again. You hang up. Then you text, right? And we have this whole way of doing things. And then it jumps into follow-up. So you have the follow-up emails, you have the follow-up texts. And you know what? If they're a buyer or a seller, there's a different length of time that we continue. Sellers, like depending on what lead it is, I have a 2-year follow-up with my sellers that continuously keeps them engaged. So there's that. You have to, like, we're in business for ourselves. So our fixes are to figure out where the weaknesses are, how we're missing things, and pull that client or that potential client back in. I tell this to my team all the time. I have a stack of scripts that are, old school scripts. Doesn't matter how old they are or how dated they are. If you could go through these scripts a million bajillion times until one day you're on the phone and somebody says something, you're not necessarily scripting, you're having an actual conversation with the person, but it flows out more natural. So it doesn't sound like, you're a VA trying to answer a question. So make sure that you know the answer to all the potential questions that a client is going to ask you, or a potential client is going to ask you. And you should know it so well that your conversations flow. So you can always DM me and I can give you some of my scripts if you ever want them. Just find me on Facebook, add me as a friend, and then DM me and I'll send you all my scripts. Just something you need to learn. Stats. Like if you don't know your stats in an area, so once a week I'd pull all the stats for all of my towns that I work in. So if I get a potential lead or a potential seller, I don't even have to look. I just know, right? And generally just knowing the stats on my neighborhood gets me an appointment and gets me the listing over the other agents that they may be calling. And how many people are out there that know 2, 3, 4 real estate agents? They're going to go with the one that knows the community, right? They're going to go with the one that knows the stats and sound the most educated about real estate. So there's that. And I have another whole section, but I don't have time to do it. So questions, answers, we have 9 minutes left. Do you have any problems in your business? Do you have any problems with like some of your prospecting? Where are you guys having issues? Anybody? Lori, do you have any?
Yeah, I'm running some Facebook ads right now for a new listing that I got yesterday, that went live yesterday. So getting good response. I've had 11 showings so far. So yeah, just I love Facebook ads. They work the best. And Facebook, Instagram, launch them at the same time.
Yeah. Looks like, did you ask how to get your website promoted? Was that you?
My website promoted?
Somebody said something down in the chat, which is terrible.
That was me.
Oh,
that was Kelly.
That was me, Jen. Okay. So, Lori, did you have a question about, like, I know the Facebook ads are great. Do you have like a 2-year follow-up on those Facebook ads? Do you retarget them? Do you do a funnel? Like
the platform that I use is Street Text. So it has an automatic.
Yes.
Yeah, I love Street Text. So it has that automated, initial text message, and then you can set up as many emails as you want as a drip. What I do is I do 2 text messages and then an email, and then I send them over basically to KB Core, and they go on the drip there.
Okay. Do you call?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I find that so many agents are afraid to pick up the phone and call.
You know what? It goes to voicemail 100% of the time. So it doesn't even matter. It's not like you have to talk to a real person. They never answer. So I always call.
I get answer. I don't know why, but I would say probably 60% of the time it goes to the voicemail, and 40% of the time they will answer the phone. Once they answer the phone now, I won't let them off.
I know. I will call somebody until they tell me to drop dead.
So what's your voicemail? What voicemail do you leave for people when it goes to voicemail?
So I have a little bit of a different strategy. Every agent does it different, and there's no right way and there's no wrong way. All you have to do is just do it, right? So when I get a cold lead, like from Realtor.com or from, one of my majillion other lead sources, I call as fast as I possibly can. And usually if I call within, 15 seconds, they'll answer the phone. If it goes to 2 minutes, they've already had like 5 other agents calling them, and the likelihood of you converting that lead is down by, I want to say, 70%. But if you can get that first like 30 seconds, 15 seconds of getting them on the phone, you'll convert. If they don't answer the phone, I call, I hang up. I call, I'll hang up. And then I will either text But usually on that second call, they'll answer unless the other agent is me on the other line, keeping them on the phone, right? But then after that, I will text, say, hey, this is Jenn with EXP here in Colorado. Looks like you needed a value on your home. I'm going to go ahead and send you your neighborhood stats. I try to never send a value of the house without seeing it. That's the number one kiss of death. But I actually have that going on right now. Somebody needed an actual value of the house, didn't want me to go down to it. So I sent them an estimated value, like, anyways, I digress. So, call, hang up, text, and then I will wait until, so if it's like 9:30 in the morning, right? I will wait until 6 o'clock at night when I know that they're probably headed home, getting ready to start dinner, or 5:45 at night. And I set a timer on my phone and I will date. And then I will call them then because they're not expecting it then. And sometimes I'm shady and I will dial through the CRM because we have a different phone number in our CRM versus than the phone number we have here. And then sometimes I'll even *67 and block my phone number to call them. Just because they maybe noticed my phone number from earlier, right? And I know that once they talk to me, they're going to love me and I'm going to get the appointment, right? So, website. How do you find your website? Was your question, Kelly?
What's the best way to promote your website?
Okay, so I have a different perspective on the website and take care of your
Oh my God.
So, one of the things is, the website really isn't your lead generator. Your website is literally to make you a valid person, a valid real estate agent. So it's just the shiny package on everything. So I don't think you're ever going to get clients necessarily that go to your website and then call you and be like, hey, Kelly, I want to hire you because your website's so great, right? No, I think your website is something that when you're on a listing appointment, you say, hey, make sure that because it's one of those shiny objects, right? Check out the website and see how don't look at my website. It's terrible at it being rebuilt. At any hoodles. Go to my website and see how we feature homes, or go to my website and check out all my sold. It's where they do their research about you. So if you really want to promote your website, I would say go to Google Business and make sure that your business profile is right, or your Google Suite or Google Business, whatever you call that. Everything's right there and your website's attached to it. You could run ads off of that, which would push them to your website. I think the number one way to promote a website is through Google Ads. You can share it to all your friends. You know what I mean? Did I answer the question?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Is it Frida? Do you have anything? Did I say it right?
Yeah. What stats do you like to report?
Oh, here's a great tip. Okay. Do you have list reports?
Yes.
Okay. So this is what I do. Once a week, I actually do it more in depth in my MLS. But the fastest way to do it, especially if you're on a call and you don't know, is to go to list reports. And then there's a tab that talks about neighborhood stats. You can type in the zip code, you can type in the city, and it'll instantaneously tell you how many active homes are available, how many went under contract in the last 14 days, and how many sold in the last X amount of days. So that is a great stat to have especially on the fly. So I keep my list reports up as a tab, just in case I get a call from like, I don't work Arvada every other day and my buyer's agent does, but I may not know Arvada's stats, but I can throw that in instantly. And then by having that, I can tell you like days on the market. The stat that I think is most important is that if you work one specific area, and I know my time's running out, but if you work one specific area, like I work Parker, Castle Rock, Highlands Ranch, I literally take, what's it called? How fast it can sell. So if we have 248 homes on the market and we sold 85 in the last 30 days, you have to divide 85 by 235, and that tells you your month's supply, right? So if you were taking a listing and you only had, and the month supply is 2.5 months, that's a great conversation that you would have with your potential seller, right? So if we have a 2.5 month supply, do you want to price it a little bit lower, or are you willing to wait the 2.5 months to sell your?
Okay.
Yeah, that's a stat that I really think is good. Well, anyways, I am going to do more on this next week, and I'm probably going to bring a guest on with me, or a few.
Yeah.
So you guys have a fabulous day, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.